How it started versus how it's going. I have been covering the kind of collapse of ComicsGate, especially with your boy Zach. Your boy Zach's been losing about 100 followers a week, which is about 400 a month. But Ethan Van Sciver's actually been crashing out worse. It's been about 1,000 followers every month ever since he's turned his channel into the I Hate Eric July special. And he's gone worse now. He's really gone at Gary Nerdrotic on a personal level, and this is what he did. He actually made a mistake against me last year, started going at my wife on X, and made a comment, just a nasty comment, and it happened to be on the night where she had some sickness medical problems where I had to like rush her to the hospital too, and I'm just like, dude, you're gonna attack families on a night where I actually have to like take my wife to the hospital because she's sick. Like, I mean, you're just so tacky. Like, and this is the problem with ComicsGate. It used to be about comics, and the movement was supposed to be a reaction to Marvel and DC Comics and the wokeness that they're doing in the industry, and just how toxic that industry's been, and just how much they go after fans, how after they go after fellow professionals who violate the narrative, all in the name of their little like leftist cabal and for this little like whisper network clout circle. So what happens? Ethan Van Sciver rolls in, co-opts the movement from a lot of people who were involved in early on. If you remember, there were a lot of there's Anglantine, I Love Comics. There was Unranked Chevron was a great channel for a while. Doug Ernst was a channel building things for a while. Of course, we were doing things on the written end. I was writing these up for the Federalist, and he rolls in, brings a couple of Marvel and DC pals in there, institutes that credentialism that you're not a real creator unless you're with Marvel and DC, much like Marvel and DC does in the mainstream industry, and then proceeds to try to just be nasty to everybody to try to wreck them out of comics in the process. And that's exactly what we fought against. This type of leftist mob mentality is exactly why we formed a movement in comics, because it was so anti-fan, it was so anti-creator. It was a really ugly thing, and this just happened again. So we're building back better, my friends. We're building a better movement that is based on comics. We're making great comics. We work hard. We are listening to the fans. We are listening to the readers. We're creating readers. We're not creating some sort of bubble of like variant cover crap that that the industry does, because we need to make comic books great again. And I'm glad you found us here. I'm glad you're here, especially if you're new, my friends. Please hit the like and subscribe button and join us as we do this. Our movement's also based on real values, because if you don't explicitly state your values, and this is a right-wing Christian channel, we don't equivocate on that stuff, any of that. If you're left-wing and not a Christian, whatever, you're welcome to read my books. Just know that that's what this movement is. I'm very happy to have everybody read my books, right? I think my books will read well for everybody, no matter what your political persuasion or anything like that. However, we are making a mission to take the culture back and build the culture. And so that's what we're doing here. So you're welcome to be here. Just don't counter-signal the movement, because that's what we're here to do. Because there is truth, there is beauty, there is heroism, there is reality. And that's what we're going to make here. So I appreciate you being here. Like I said, we're 20 novels, 13 graphic novels into this. I've got 9 in development right now. Sign up for my newsletter. 3 books for free in the description below, because I don't want to lose you to algorithms or anything like that. My newsletter is mostly politics free. I mostly just talk about just science fiction stuff that in my projects that come out. And I'm very, very sick right now. I'm going to do the Your Boy Zach thing. So thank you for bearing with me on that as well. And I also have a bookstore, so if you want to check things out and support our channel, I've got it available for you right now. We've got comics, we've got novels, T-shirts. I've got, of course, digital versions of these, because I just want you to read. So important to get you to read. And please get on and read. That is the goal, because the more read we get, the smarter we get as a movement, and the more that our movement, of course, means something and has depth to it. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So I appreciate everybody who's in for that. You guys are amazing. Thank you for just making this a huge success. We've been just on a back catalog. We've been moving like $1,000 a month versus back catalog stuff, just on my web store, and then another couple thousand on Amazon. So it's been like pretty amazing without a crowdfund this year, because I don't crowdfund anything till my book's complete. And so we've had a really great growth this year, all because of readers like you. And remember those 2 things: the web store, newsletter. Those are that's so important, guys. And, of course, we've been watching as this has been going on. So about the end of 2023, that's when Ethan Van Sciver decided to turn his channel into anti-Eric July propaganda content. You can see the collapse here from 146,000 to now it's 136,000. Every month he drops about 1,000 subscribers off of his channel because people who see it go, you know what, this Ethan came in, he was fighting against Star Wars, he was fighting against these corporations, now he's acting like them, trying to turn this into like this anti-indie hate all the time. And that's just the antithesis of our movement right here. Eric July is creating. He's putting out new books every month, every week. He's focused. He's going and interacting with fans. He's treating fans right. It's been a really nice thing to watch the Rippaverse grow and watch the Rippaverse thrive. And, of course, we wish them the best. And I read a lot of their books, and I'm glad that they hired wonderful right-wing creators like Chuck Dixon, like Joe Bennett, like Mike Barron. They're really doing everything right. And so this is really silly that, he dedicates his 3, 4, 5-hour live streams every day to, oh my gosh, Eric made a 3-minute video. Let me parse every word and tell you why he's the devil. And it's like, huh? This guy's just making comics. Like, why are you doing this? It's insane. And watching the people in there in the chat's insane. And what happened is Ethan really forsook his comic audience who came, with things, who wanted this culture built, who wanted something different than Marvel and DC by not working on his comics. That's the big thing. And, of course, trying to capture this, blood sports sort of thing. Because he always watched Ethan Ralph's, Killstream and Mr. Medicare. And he wanted to just be this, radio personality who just attacks other people. And so he turned himself into, a discount version of that. And the thing is, he's not as funny. He's focusing on nichier topics, on dumber things. And so this is where he goes. And so I think this one's going to be a big one that's going to implode things even worse, believe it or not. Because you go at Eric July. Eric July's got his fan base. There's a person who has a much bigger fan base who now Ethan's got his sights on. And I know he's just chomping at the bit to just tear into Gary, Nerdrotic. Now, Gary, of course, has a pop culture channel, and we see that your boy Zach attacks him all day long every single time, right? The birthday party clowns say this movie's bad. Furiosa's the best movie ever. And it's really sad. Now, Ethan's, of course, always takes it, where your boy Zach is focused on the commentary and stuff like that, which is annoying as it is, because it's like, why are you counter-signaling people who are trying to tear down Hollywood? That's a good, I want Hollywood torn down. It's evil, right? I want Marvel Comics torn down. It's evil, right? That should be the goal. And Ethan makes it personal and makes it nasty every single time. And so he takes it to a next level on X here. Adam Krigler was talking about, in this, what happened was, we'll just go all the way back to the thread. Nerdrotic is going to put his book on Rippasend, and he's going to do a biography on just how he made his life better and how he improved himself as a man. This is such an important story for today's culture, and it shows just how disconnected Ethan is from everything. That there is hope, that no matter how low you sink, you can always come back, and that's really the redemption message of Jesus Christ, right? Which is just wonderful, right? It just fills everybody with hopes. It fills everybody with the fact that everybody can change. And, of course, he's a massive success, and this is going to be a massive success. And so, of course, Ethan's got to tear it down. So Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers said, let's go. And then from prison to YouTube, sigh, LMAO. So look at how just passive-aggressive and gamma-maily this is right here. Just absolutely crazy. With the ... dots, with the sigh, with the pretending it's just laughing at it when he's actually seething at it. Oh, my gosh. And Adam Krigler rightly says, a success story is a success story. Depressing. I disagree. So here we go. Choose the least inspiring story for an autobiography. So now he's going to attack Nerdrotic's life. I lost my comic book store, which was my dream, because I was selling meth and destroying the lives of people in my community. After I served my time, I started over. And, oh my gosh. So, again, Gary cleaned himself up. This is quite the way to frame this in a nasty, personal, just hateful way. Gary really is an inspiration because, yes, he was doing bad things. He fixed it. He made things better. And he gives these things. Went back to school, became a successful doctor, helping people with chemical addictions, accepted Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, got a YouTube account, made repetitive, Davey, algorithmic slop, hating on geek culture, that aspect of my former life that wasn't evil and destructive waste, and became a millionaire spreading hatred for Disney with 9 other boring retards. Wow. Now, if you guys don't know, Ethan Van Sciver had a show as he was fighting the culture war, and the reason he got popular building this was he was making videos on Disney, Star Wars, and the like, and that's the only reason he has a large YouTube account. And during that day, during the Great Wild West, it was very easy to do that and get big at the time. I'm late. Whoops. I should have been doing this then. My bad. But it was really easy to get on that train and build a big account doing that. So what he did, and this is the real way to get big that I'm very bad at too. He got together and formed a group, of influencers who all have their own independent things, and they did their thing it was called the High Council. And Geeks and Gamers was on it. Jeremy and Nerdrotic was on. Everybody did that, and they did a weekly stream together. Well, Ethan started getting weird and toxic and all that, so he just got axed out of that, and they just kept continuing on with Friday Night Tights with Geeks and Gamers and the like. And they kept getting bigger, and he didn't. And it's because he turned on the very movement that he was, fighting for, allegedly. And it's very sad because this is the Your Boy Zach story, too. And it goes to show this is the way to build is you get several medium-level influencers together. You stream regularly, maybe once a week, whatever. And they do this. John Malin's got this with for all his faults, with the Jack Show, with Anna, that Star Wars girl, with Cecil, and they used to have Kelsey. And they used to have fun with that, and they still do. And they have that show that goes on. And because they've all got personalities that are different, they've got different audiences that bring it to the table, and that's why that show goes. Yellow Flash's Flashcast, same thing. He's got a bunch of different people on who are medium, big level influencers, and then that show does very, very well because of that. So Ethan, and that's what the ComicsGate Kings was too. Ethan knows the formula. Because everybody who's got their own little niche audiences, even if we're not all in agreement on everything, we can come together because we're fighting against leftism. We're fighting against communism. We're fighting against atheism. We're fighting against evil wokeness. At least we should be. And he turned his back on that. And he turned his back on that because I guess he just wanted control. He wanted to be the only center of attention, wanted to be the only ComicsGate king. Eric July sold more than me. And then it ended up being something like this. So that is the formula. That's how it works. If anybody wants to become an influencer, that's how you do it. I'm like I said, I'm bad. The reason I'm bad about that is because I can't spend the time streaming so much. I want to write. I want to just hunker down and make my videos and things like that. But that's the way you get bigger faster, right? You build a community of influencers like that, and you influence. And it's so sad to see him really crashing out and going at Gary Nerdrotic now on this level. This is a Yo Boy Zach level meltdown, but even worse because, again, it's just so passive-aggressive, so personal, and so hateful. You could tell it's just he got left in the dust, and he is mad that success is coming here. So I think Nerdrotic's going to do a great job with this. It's going to be fantastic. And, again, this is the type of thing young men need. Young men need a message that no matter how low it gets, no matter what, you can come back and you can do something and you could build something. That is so important to give hope for our culture. I think it's a great thing. And it's really, really sad to watch these guys try to tear it down. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We're building this movement here on comics, my friends, and books. Thank you so much for all the readers out there. Please grab a book on the bookstore. It's in the description below. Sign up for the newsletter. So important. Get 3 free books. And we're going to have some great stuff coming out later this year. I appreciate you for being here. Appreciate you reading. We'll be back soon.